Hello everyone and welcome to another lesson in our Linux series. Now in this lesson of our Linux series, we will dive into working with text files in Linux and text files are basically everywhere in Linux, and these are used for configuration, documentation and logs. Now in this lesson we will get comfortable with the text editors and learn how to view and explore file content. So after completing this section, you will be getting comfortable using the text editors and viewing file contents. We will practice using two text editors. One is Nano and another one is Vim. And use commands like cat, more, less, head, and tail to view the file. I will explain everything to you how these commands work and what they do. So let's head to the Ubuntu machine. Okay. First of all, I will go into the Ubuntu login. Okay, so now here we are. So in Linux, there are two popular command line text editors. One is Nano and the second one is Vim. So let's start with Nano, which is basically beginner friendly. Then introduce the Vim, a more powerful but a complex editor. Now to open a file with Nano, you can use the command simply nano and the file name. If that file doesn't exist, Nano will create it. For example, here we have the practice.txt, which is a blank file. But if you want to open this file with the Nano, you can just say nano and then practice.txt. It will open it. Now when you are inside the editor, uh, then you can start typing something, right? This is my first text file in Linux. Okay, and this is the second line, like this. I am learning Linux. Linux is fun to learn. So all these lines you will add in the text file. Now you can see that you have a couple of options in the bottom of the screen. Now three things are very important. One is how to save the file. You will have to press Control button on your this keyboard plus O, that will save the file. Now after you press the Control O, you have to confirm the file name. If you want to change it here, you can change it here, but if you want to keep the same and override the content what was there with the new content you have to press enter here. Okay, so it shows wrote 4 lines. So that was the change. Earlier there was no lines, now we have 4 lines. Now then you have Control X to exit out of the Nano editor and Control K to cut a line. If I do a Control K, it will cut this line, right? Now I cannot do a Control Z here, so I will say instead what I can do is Control X, and it says save the modified. I'll say no, so the last thing that I did will not be deleted, right? That I deleted that with the Control K, right? And then if I said Control O and saved, then it will overwrite the previous uh, content of the file, right? So instead I did Control X and I said no, I don't want to save it. Okay, so that is how you edit a text file and the basic what do you say options in Nano. Now we'll move on to the Vim. Also, as I said, Nano, if you don't have the file, it will create it. Let's say nano test file.txt. If I do, it will create that file. If I do ls, you will see now we have the okay, because we didn't save it, so it will not obviously uh, create it. For example, if you do this and then I say Control O, enter, Control X, and then I do this, you should see the test file.txt. Okay, and I do this. Okay, so you can see both the files are there. Now one has the owner as vbox user, one has the root as the owner. Okay, so let's go on to the okay, now let's do one thing. We will go ahead and use the Vim editor, and we'll check on some basics on the Vim. Now for those interested in a more powerful editor, you have the option of Vim. To open a file with Vim, it's simple. You, instead of Nano, you will say Vim and then the file name practice.txt. Now Vim has two sorry, so now this one it does not have the Vim installed. Now here you can also learn how to install a package. We will cover this at the end, but this is how you install in um, Ubuntu, right? You should have internet connectivity. It will connect to the server and fetch the files. And now I'm installing the Vim editor in my Ubuntu system, which is not available by default. You only have Nano as a default editor. Now once you have installed this, now if I do the Vim practice, now I have the Vim. Now you can see all these lines. So the main thing is, unlike the Nano, Vim has two primary modes. One is in insert mode for typing text and normal mode for navigating and executing command. For example, right now I am uh, in the when you first open Vim, it's in normal mode. But if you, let's say, I can navigate here and there, but I cannot enter anything. I think I pressed I, as you can see here, it's insert mode, right? So I'll say escape here, and I'll just say Q. So I need to show you all these things. Colon QA. Okay, and when I press I, it should start the insert mode. So I can now, what do you say, enter something, right? Like Linux is fun to learn, like that. Now to save and exit, press the escape to return to normal mode. Once I'm here, I'm in the normal mode. You can see the insert is gone. If I press I, insert is back. Escape, then I cannot enter anything, and then I press I. Now I'm in the edit mode. I can enter a new line, right? Linux is very good OS, something like that. When I press escape, then I hit enter or do one thing, nothing will happen. If I press, I think I again press the insert, so I'll go back, escape. Now I don't have insert, I insert, escape, no insert, right? So that means when you see insert, you are in the edit mode. Now to save and quit, you will have to press colon after the escape. After you are in the normal mode, press shift and colon, and then W for write and Q for quit, like this. Okay, so you understood this. Now I just wanted to say you that if you are new to this Vim or Ubuntu itself, it's best to start with Nano and Vim, because as Vim has a steeper learning curve. But for starters, you can see that if you are in this, when you press Vim and then the file name, you are in the normal mode. To go to the insert mode, you have to edit mode, you have to go to the insert mode by pressing I. Right now you have insert in the bottom left corner. Now you can add lines here, adding more lines using Vim, enter, right? This is line number, say, 6, adding more lines, right? And then escape, then colon WQ, right, and quit. Hopefully you understood this. This was Vim. Now let's move on to the next thing, which is the viewing our file contents. Okay, let's explore some commands to view the file contents. Each command has a unique purpose, helping you to navigate files of different size and structures. Okay, So the first one that's up is the cat command. Okay, the cat command will display the entire content of a file in the terminal itself. Okay, for example, now we created couple of files. Okay, when I do ls, I have test file, I have practice. So we can do cat and test file.txt. We don't have anything in cat in the test file. Let's do the practice, and you can see all these content, right? So this is your cat file. Now you can use this cat for small files as it shows everything at once. If the file is large, consider using other commands for better navigation. Other commands like you have more, which is what we will discuss next. The more command allows you to scroll through a file one screen at a time, okay, making it useful for medium sized file. So I'll do this on the practice.txt, and as this is a very small file, what I can do is cd, let's say cd, okay, go here and then cd etc ls-l. I want to see something here which should have a lot of configuration. So let's say I'll do cat for this x attr.conf. It's also a small file. uh, let's do something else. So I have okay, let's see this one, rss um, log.conf. Okay, so this was cat, so it showed me everything in one time. Now I said the next one was more, which is page by page, right? So this one we'll see. So you have to basically press the space bar to go to the next page, or you can press q to quit the reading mode. So this is one page, this is second page, and this is third page. Okay, now if I want to quit in between, I'll just press the q and I'll escape. Okay, so more command gives you a simple way to move through a file page by page. And the less command is similar to more but offers more control over the navigation. You can scroll up and down within a file, and it's better suited for large file. So let's say less rsyslog.conf. If I do, so I can now scroll up and down here like this. Okay, in more you cannot do this, but in less you can do this. Now you can just quit here. If you want, you can quit here. Now with less you can move with the arrow keys from this side, or you can scroll up and down with the mouse, and you can press the q to quit. This makes it idle for log files and long documents. This is the less. Now the next one that you have is head. Now can you do the same head, and then the r syslog.conf. The head command displays the first few lines of a file. By default it shows the first 10 lines, but you can customize this. So if you see here, you have done the head right like this head. If you see, so from here we did the cat, then if I enter a couple of times and then head, you can see the first 10 lines, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So by default it gives you the first 10 lines. Now you can change this by using the head and then dash n and 5 and then the file name. Okay, that means it will display only the first 5 lines. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 lines. Okay, this is how you change the files. Now after the head command we have the tail command, which is the kind of opposite of the head command. So head will show you the first 10. Now 10 lines, the tail will show you the first no the last 10 lines. Okay, so if you see here, let me enter a couple of times and then do this. So it will show you the last 10 lines. You can also change the view by doing the tail dash n and then the number of lines. Let's say 15 I want to see, and then the rsyslog dot conf. So now I will be able to see the last 15 lines of my file. So this is how you basically view the files using couple of commands which we have discussed in this lesson. Right now it's time to practice editing and viewing the text file. Let's take a quick task to apply what we have learned. Okay, so we'll create a new file and open it in Nano. Let's say we'll say Nano myfile.txt. Okay, myfile.txt, and hit enter. And then we'll write a few lines mm, mm, about what you have learned so far in this Linux course, and then save it. Right, so we'll say we have learned uh, Nano editor. We have learned learned Nano editor. We have learned Vim editor. We have seen how to view files using cat. Also we have seen using head. You have seen less. We have seen what tail. Right, so these are the commands that we have seen: head, cat, less, tail, more. Right, these are the commands that we have seen. Also we have seen how to create a file with the touch command. So these are the things. Now to save, Control O and then hit enter, Control X to exit. Right, now view the same file using cat and head. Right, let's say cat and we will view the my file.txt, and I can see this. Head will show you the my file, almost same because the number of lines is same. And then with less you can see this same thing. Right, and let's quit. Less you can do and quit. Right, Q for quit. So that was less, and then we can do tail if you want tail, and then we can say dash n and let's say 3, and then my file.txt, so last 3 lines. Head dash n 3, and then my file.txt first 3 lines. So this is how we can view the file and edit a file. Right, so this was all about the viewing and editing file in the Linux. So I think you understood all the commands that we have gone through in this lesson, and I want to thank you for watching. And understanding how to edit and view files is essential for the management of Linux systems. uh, for now, this is what I have for this section. I will see you in the next lesson, and until then, bye bye.